Hello, I'm Chuck DeVetter, and I'm going to talk to you today about our relationship with the Lord. I believe that we're created to worship Him every second of the day, 24 hours a day. And that's just who we are. That's our natural created self. And so what happens is that it's only those things in the flesh and those things of self-protection and those things of trying to take care of ourselves and being okay that takes us out of that place. And so what I'm going to talk to you today about is that place where, let's say that we've all been in anointed services in church, or at least a lot of us have been in anointed services in church, and we feel the presence of God, and we're in the Spirit, and there's peace, and there's joy, and just the fruits of the Spirit, which when the fruits of the Spirit are there, we know His presence is there. But what happens is, so let's say that we leave church, and all of a sudden what happens is that presence goes away, because of the fact that we're pulled into the flesh, and we begin to reason, or we begin to live our lives through that maybe head knowledge or reason or things that we've learned and those type of things. And I want to encourage each one of us today that really that's not God's plan. God's plan is that we walk and we function out of that worship relationship and that intimate relationship with the Lord. And once we do that, the flesh has no power over us. And so as our hearts become bigger and bigger, and His presence comes into our hearts and expands His tent pegs of the hearts, what ends up happening is we have a capacity just to be with Him more and more and not be drawn into the flesh. And so what happens in that love relationship is that sometimes there's some functionality things. And one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of times in our daily tasks we begin to go out and we function, we do those daily tasks in a function that's separate from Him. It might be that I'm going to go and paint a house as an example, or I'm going to go shovel the driveway or something like that. What happens is, as I'm doing that task, I'm meant to do it with Him, in partnership with Him. As I work, my heart exalts Him and worships Him, and as I seek Him, and as I do that, I find that not only does the task get done better, all right, but it just functions better, and I'm able to release His kingdom throughout the task, and whatever His plan was within that task is what comes out of the task. And so at the same time, what happens is often we find ourselves functioning and trying to get a task done and have those tasks completed through our own efforts, like, geez, I've got to get this done, and we have some type of time frame or something like that we have in our heart that we need to get this done for this reason or whatever. And so all of a sudden we put ourselves in a performance mode, and we begin to perform, and we begin to try to create value out of the tasks that we're doing. You can say, well, I'm not creating value. I think if we go to the roots of it, we're always creating value in focusing, when we focus on ourselves and trying to perform and trying to get a task done. And when we do that, that pulls us into the flesh. And when we're in the flesh, what ends up happening is that we become disconnected with God. We begin to operate out of those protection type feelings, like just that cold hardness, or this sadness, or maybe confusion, or just that disconnection with God, where we're not feeling His love and His presence and being able to release the kingdom. Every one of us is created to just release the fullness of the kingdom that He has inside of us, or release His kingdom so that this world can be touched and changed and affected. And so I just encourage each one of us, including myself, to just, in everything that we do, that we do it unto His glory. Thank you.